The Campbell Soup VP was recorded saying crazy things about the company. He literally was saying that only poor people buy that soup and he doesn't eat it because it's nasty. He also said that there's bioengineered meat in it, like 3D printed meat inside the soup, and said that it's not healthy. And it really just is so amazing to see all of this happen because it's like, oh, well, you're just giving the consumer a reason to not buy your product because you actually don't even believe in your product. Yeah, you're the VP for this company, but like actually you are telling the public pretty much that the soup is poison. And obviously he probably didn't know he was being recorded, you know? But either way, that's how you genuinely feel about Campbell's Soup as the VP of the company. And then knowing that and knowing it's not healthy and knowing that the meat is engineered in a lab and 3D printed, but then to still like be the VP of the company, it's like you're just the VP because you want the money, but you don't actually care how it affects people, how it's unhealthy for people, and then literally was calling the consumer of Campbell's Soup poor. He was like, I don't buy our product because it's for poor people, pretty much is what he was saying. And it's like, oh, so you don't believe in your own product for your company and you think that it's unhealthy and you think that it's kind of toxic because there's 3D printed meat in it. And you also don't buy it because you believe that it's just for poor people, who then you're basically saying don't deserve to have anything healthy because they're poor. And so you don't care how the company is actually affecting anyone's health. Because again, your company and your product is meant for poor people. Like, do you see how that's all realistically the craziest thing ever? Like, that's actually insane. And so obviously something's probably going to happen from this. But my thing is that just proves that maybe people don't need to be eating your product. Like, and that's just going to be bad for your company. Insane.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So listen, right? Campbell Soup is in a mess that I don't think they're gonna come back from, right? A leaked voice recording of their VP just dropped, and the things that he said, right? I don't think PR can even save them this time. But let's watch the clips real quick, and I'll be back with some commentary. Credit goes to all original creators. Thank you so much for tapping in when you saw this. Let's watch, and we'll be back.
So Campbell Soup has 3D printed meat. And I know 'tis the season where people donate and they give canned goods and participate in food drives, but Campbell's needs to be on the boycott list immediately. And this is why we say a good portion of the things that we're experiencing in this country is a matter of a class issue versus just a race issue. These people at the top of these companies do not care about the consumer. Whether it's tech companies like Apple and how they unlawfully source things like cobalt from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, whether it's Amazon and the pay disparities that their workers are experiencing and the long hours that they are being overworked, and companies that are in charge of feeding us like Kellogg or Campbell, or fruit companies like Dole that have literally gone to places like Hawaii and Costa Rica and stolen up farmland. Do not buy Campbell's or anything that Campbell's is affiliated with.
I can't believe he said that. Why would you ever out loud say that to another coworker? You're cooked, buddy. Your goose is cooked.
Let's look at the label together and find out. Contains bioengineered ingredients. The ingredients from corn and soy in this product come from genetically modified crops. That says nothing about the meat. So I only have one question for you, Campbell's. Is there really 3D printed meat in this soup? Are you really trying to trick us into eating some shit? Because I think your consumers absolutely deserve to know.
And on another note, fuck Campbell Soup. Here's the thing. If they say that and they putting like 3D printer food, 3D printer meats in their shit, fuck that. Stop that. Somebody made a good point too about McDonald's and all these goddamn meat chains, these hamburger chains. You producing a whole lot of hamburgers. What does that meat look like? Now that I know that they are 3D printing meat, chicken and shit, fuck that. Say less. Stop going. Keep your money in your pocket. If you have to eat apples and oranges, wash them shits. But if you have to eat that shit till you figure it out, stop eating these processed foods. Because they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about us. I'm so sick of this shit, and I'm glad it's all being exposed. If you are 3D printing chicken, you can have all that shit. They don't give a fuck about us. Don't tell them what else is in that shit. The preservatives, all this stuff. Look, honey, look, this is a time. Let me just add a little something. This is a time while we shutting down, like while we ain't doing shit from November 25th to December 2nd, take that time and do a couple of things. Be still. Eat basic shit. Explore some shit. Learn some shit. And download them Epstein files and see all them motherfuckers in there too. But with this food shit, tell me you don't give a fuck about me without telling me you don't give a fuck about me if you 3D printing chicken and beef. I don't do processed foods. I very minimum. I eat some, but now it's like we have to stop. Because they don't care. I promise you, I think they trying to make it so that we not breathing. Because this shit here, I'm like, I don't even know how to make cream of mushroom soup, but I'm going to figure that shit out, how to make that shit from scratch. Fuck them. Who are you to think that 3D printed chicken is okay with me? Take this time to slow down and really think about what's going on around us. Let's be still. Go inside of yourself. What does your soul say? And that's where I am. I'm just slowing down, because that was the most disappointing news that I had in a long time. Like, I'm sorry. Like, when you think about these companies that are staples in our life, and then it's exposed that they doing some shit that's really going to fuck us up, what does that even look like? 3D printed chicken. What does that even look like? That sound like it's going to cause cancer and we ain't going to find out about it for another fucking 30 years. They don't give a fuck about us. I am boycotting every motherfucking thing. I'm exhausted by the disrespect, and they monetizing this. And this is the street that I'm walking down from now fucking on, because it's got to make sense. And none of this shit makes sense. 3D printed fucking chicken. Make sure you buy chicken with the motherfucking bones in them. Because this shit here and all these major chains, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, I'm going to say something that's going to sound racist, and I don't mean it this way. But I have gone to some Chinese restaurants, some local Chinese restaurant, and you get someone a chicken and it don't chew right. Trust that. I don't know what that is. I don't care what it is, but I'm not going to put it in my body. It's the same thing here. When one of the executives at Campbell Soup saying he don't eat that shit, bitch, I don't eat that shit either. My family deserves better than that shit. Not to mention the preservatives and all the other fuck shit that's in these processed foods. Like, we have to know if it's so many ingredients in it that we don't understand. I don't know what this shit is. The ingredient list is like this, and it's all like chemicals. No, boo. We ain't doing this. We can't keep doing this. We have to do better by ourselves. Get those books that show you how to heal yourself without medicine, like the herbs and shit. Like, you know, like old people used to have this thing with the jars with the garlic and the herb and the garlics and the onions, and then had like the honey in it, things like that. Look, we have to go backwards. We have to go we have to go back to, like, to nature, natural healing, because between these fucking people that's making our food in this healthcare industry, we are getting fucked. And I'm trying to live long. My goal, I always say, I'm gonna live to be 100 years old. I don't know why my phone keep doing this thing, but look, my goal has always been I'm gonna live to be 100, and I mean that shit. I'm relatively healthy. I don't eat a lot of processed food. Potato chips is my downfall, though. I don't eat a lot of processed food besides that. And potato chips are probably one of the most processed foods out here on the market. But we have to be more mindful in this season. While we shutting down, learn something, read something. Don't just be still. Don't spend your money, but also learn something in this season. Expose yourself to something.
Campbell's also makes V8, Pepperidge Farm cookies, and SpaghettiOs. Oh, yummy, and many other products. You don't catch me. I don't buy and eat anything out of a can anymore. Anything aluminum, anything plastic. I don't eat anything unless it's meat, rice, or vegetables. And I pick my sauces very carefully. I eat a lot of nuts, and I drink a hell of a fucking lot of water. And I stay my weight. I've never been overweight. That's chemicals. That's going to kill you. Bioengineered by Campbell's. You hear what he said? Only poor people eat Campbell soup. I wouldn't eat that fucking shit. It's got bioengineered meat inside of it. But he wants to sell it and make profit off it.
Also went on to talk a lot of trash about Indians. Said they were stupid, they don't know what they're doing, they can't do anything. I don't know if he's talking about Native Americans or if he's talking about Indians from India. Doesn't matter. The recording happened over a year ago, and the guy that recorded him, 3 weeks later, he turned it in. He was immediately terminated. His name is Garza. Yeah, the guy that turned him in was terminated, not the guy that made the comments. Now he's suing Campbell's, and that's why this has all been made public. Because he got canned. No pun intended. Needless to say, the stock price isn't just killing it these days. There's no coming back from this for that guy that made those comments about his own company or the people. Oh, and the guy that got canned, he's going to get a payday. He's going to get a payday. Campbell's don't make.
Now, I ain't rich, I'm far from it, but contrary moon fair, like everybody on the face of the planet was taught that when they're sick, this is what we eat. It's like a staple. What are you talking about? Like, I literally heard about this and wheeled myself right over the cabinet. As soon as I opened the door, it was the first thing just sitting on the shelf. And now you're telling me it's like nothing but chemicals? What? Like I'm reading right on the back of it. It says chicken meat. Oh, but then wait a minute. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. The ingredients from corn and soy in this product come from genetically modified crops. Well, that's just not very nice. And I can't have red Gatorade. Like y'all are just screwing us all up.
And granted, this guy is in securities. He's not in recipe development or like food science or anything like that. But I don't know, for me, if an executive is speaking this way about the company they work for, it makes me very wary. It makes me very cautious and rethink, possibly buying products made by the company. But I guess we'll see how the lawsuit and, the investigation goes.
The fact that people are focusing on the food science misinformation instead of the rest of what he said is so absurd, because the real story here is what his comments expose about the entire food industry under our current economic system. This is not about one executive or one company, and boycotting them based on misinformation about the type of meat they use isn't going to help anything. This is the system. When you build a food environment where the only value that matters is maximizing quarterly profits, you get exactly this. You get executives who talk in a derogatory way about low-income consumers as if they're disposable, who don't care about the quality of their product as long as it helps boost profits, and who openly demean their employees, the very people who make the company run. This is what a profit-only model produces when the main incentive rewards this kind of thinking. So if you want to be outraged at that. Be outraged at the system that makes racism and classism and disregard for public health profitable, not at a single ingredient that doesn't even exist in your soup. And if we want this to change, the answer isn't boycotting individual companies based on misinformation about single ingredients social media tells you are bad. It's demanding policies and regulations that change the system and make it more difficult for corporations to profit by cutting corners on safety and quality, exploiting workers, or demeaning the people they serve.
For more than a century, Campbell's soup has been woven into American life. It started in the 1860s and became a lifeline during some of the hardest moments this country has ever faced. The Great Depression, both world wars, every recession since. Families who were struggling financially could still count on a can of Campbell's to get them through another day. It wasn't meant to be fancy, it was survival food. It was dignity when money was tight. And that's exactly why this leaked recording is blowing up the way that it is. Because when you have a 150-year-old brand, you should understand the people who kept you alive. Real families, real struggles, real loyalty. But this recording says the opposite. It shows contempt. It shows a complete disconnect from what Campbell's has historically meant to people. And it shows an executive openly insulting the same communities that kept this company standing for generations. This is the kind of moment that permanently changes a brand. People aren't just upset, they feel betrayed. They feel mocked, and they feel like the mask finally slipped. Campbell's built its empire on being the affordable option, the reliable option, the one thing you could always grab off the shelf when you see everything else was out of reach. That goodwill took decades to build. And one leak like this can shatter it for millions of people.
But here's the thing, right? Campbell soup has been a staple in American homes for decades, right? Generations of families rely on that stuff when they're sick, when they're broke, and when they just need something quick, right? And to hear the VP calling customers poor people and saying that he would never eat that trash, that is insane, right? And then talking about the chicken being bio-generated, fake meat, lab-grown mystery protein, like, why would you even say, first of all, why would you guys sell that to people to eat? And then why would you go and start saying that out loud, right? But the part that kills me, the staff member who recorded it, the one who exposed the VP, he got fired. Not the VP, the whistleblower got fired. And now he's suing, and honestly, he's going to win, right? There's proof, there's audio, there's receipts. Campbell better start writing that settlement check, right? But you know what's next? Boycotts, right? Rebranding, sudden new label and name changing, trying to escape the scandal. So we need to watch out for that, right? Because that's definitely going to happen. They're going to try to rebrand. So let's watch out for it, right? So, at the end of the day, people are tired of corporations disrespecting the same customers who pay their bills, right? But credit goes to all original creators. Thank you so much for watching. Let's pray that these companies start respecting people for once. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. And as usual, I'll see you on my next one.